How many times have I set my mind to this ideal of this is what I want to achieve and that is that. And until I achieve this, I cannot allow myself to be happy. In the process, though, as soon as I reach the point of whatever I assign this huge meaning to, I don't feel anything. I'm like, oh, well, all right, moving on, right? So there is no sense of fulfillment that actually satisfies me other than the sense of like, okay, fine, I did what I said I'm gonna do, feels good, right? But there is no deeper sense of satisfaction. But what gives me that deeper sense of satisfaction is the failure, is the looking back, is the thought of this is where I was, this is where I'm at now. You know, it's the journey. Yet somehow we as human beings all agreed that the way that we're going to quantify success and the sense of it is by attainment of this like goal of ours, right? And so when you do 100 things, if you do not succeed at any one of those 100 tries, at that point in time you would be considered to be consistently failing, right? Because effort does not count if you do not reap the fruits of said effort. But then if you succeed on the hundreds and ones, suddenly your struggle and your sacrifice is glorified because essentially now it all makes sense, right? Because you achieved something, all of that gains value. But the truth is that it had value before, during, and after. In your effort, in your work, you might not achieve sometimes the tangible result or the visible result, but you gain things in here that then guide you, right? And these experiences are the ones that help us get to the points that we'd like to be at. So why do we put so much value to success in the form of the goal attainment and achievement, when in reality it's the effort and consistency that actually should be the things that realistically are bringing us the success that we so desire? Why do we not agree that it's the struggle, and it's not necessarily the struggle, but it's the consistent input that should be the success metric, right? Because if you have that mindset change, it no longer matters if something works out. Because so many times people will stop doing something because they feel like they haven't achieved enough to be continuing doing whatever that it is, right? But the achievement is just an aftermath, right, of consistency and work that then pays off. It's the salary. But if you motivate yourself with the salary at all times, will you actually be motivated to be doing the thing? Right? And that's where it comes. Like, everybody wants to know what your story is and why you're doing the things that you're doing. Because if it's not strong enough, if you don't see a point in working out, if you don't see a point in having a job, if you don't see a point in your education, it's really difficult to motivate yourself to go through these very difficult, sometimes like life-changing things. And so identifying clearly what it is that you live for and what your purpose is extremely important. But then we are told that we're too young and that it's too early and that you don't have to know this. You still have time to figure it out. And while I think that is true and that is the case and we are so young, blah, 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 do not underestimate how well you know yourself. Stop downplaying your ability to look inwards. Stop downplaying your ability to sit down and think. Just because social media is constantly taking away from your self-reflection time and from your time to actually understand who you are, doesn't mean you shouldn't be contributing to actually making that time and actually thinking about what is it that you want, right? It can start with games that you played as a kid, or it can start to what upsets you the most, unfairness in the world, what kind of injustices like shake your soul and heart, right? Because then moving from there, you can make a strategy and a plan. It's never too early. The sooner you have a direction to be moving in, the sooner you'll be going somewhere and maybe realizing it's not for you, but you can always come back, right? The worst thing you can do is not do any action, because that's just you digress. That's lack of progress. And with the world moving at all times, you actually are not just staying still, you're moving backwards, right? And I think today's world is extremely unforgiving to those who aren't keeping up with its speed. Does that mean to say that you need to be aligning yourself to timelines of others? Not at all. But you need to be creating your own timeline. Because if you're playing the game that isn't yours, right, where the rules are constantly changing, which the world is, right, you can't ever win unless you create your own game to be playing. And I think that's extremely important. And I feel like not a lot of people realize that they can even do that, because sometimes it feels so hopeless, especially when you're in a time where things don't work out day after day, months after month, sometimes year after year. And it is extremely demotivating. It's a punch after punch. But as long as we keep ourselves accountable, as long as we create systems, hopefully before, sometimes within those really difficult times, it's easier to get through them. And by systems, from like an internal accountability of your daily schedule to the kind of people you surround yourself with, right? All of these things, brick by brick, will build your stability. I went into a very challenging time of my life with extreme lack of preparation. I did not know what I'm going into. I did not understand how to take care of myself properly. And when you're in it, it's really hard to come out. It's extremely hard to come out because all you see is nothing. All you see is lack of light, you know. And so to come out of that, what helped me were people around me. God bless. What helped me was understanding, giving myself grace, letting myself be emotional, posting all over the internet, and being like extremely manic. But it helped me. I got what I needed. I got the dopamine hit to like keep me going. I got a bit of a release. Do I regret it? No. Do I think back to it and I'm like, could have dealt with that differently? Yes, of course, but that's why we're humans and that's why we're growing and that's why things are the way that they are. So, final point being, if you romanticize something, romanticize the struggle. And I really like the saying that you either choose the struggles that you will be going through, or you can live life and then the struggles will choose you. And I'd much rather have the illusion of control over the kinds of struggles that I'm choosing, right? Because I think making conscious sacrifices while staying accountable and being a good person is much more better than then being put in positions in life where you either have to sacrifice parts of yourself or things that you want to prioritize at that time, or sacrificing other things. Like, I'd much rather do this now because I've seen the kinds of things that the state can bring to people. And that ain't positive. These are my thoughts for today.